This is the Iqunix A80, an 80% keyboard with an inclined function area from an up-and-coming keyboard manufacturer, Iqunix. I got the chance to get my hands on this keyboard and I'm pretty impressed. Well, to a certain extent. I mean, this review can go two ways in terms of reviewing it. One is as a keyboard enthusiast and the other a regular keyboard user. If you're here because you like keyboards or tech, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. It really is a big help. I'm your host Thiru and this is Random Review Squad. The Iqunix has a really nice design, especially this one. It does come in other colorways, but this is the one that I prefer. It has that unique typewriter chunky look that some people and even myself like. It looks distinct on your desk, and if your setup is minimalist, this is bound to add some color to your table. The keyboard comes in a nice box along with some Mac keys, a keycap, and key switch puller 2-in-1 tool, and a USB-C cable for the keyboard. Now, let's talk about the build. The keyboard really feels premium and weighted. The thick plastic and the PBT keycaps add to the feel of the keyboard. It's a special 80% layout that still supports the function keys but abandons the numpad. That is actually better for some people because it just gives you more mouse space. Despite its already large typing angle, it actually comes with feet on the back. It's got 2 levels of feet with rubber padding to keep the keyboard from moving. The underside also has the switch to switch between wireless and wired connection. Usually this is a macro on the keyboard itself, but because the macro is used for switching between 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth, I guess this is the other implementation. And of course, you have some rubber feet on the 4 corners. If you remove the keycaps, it makes way for the widely common and used Gate-All-Around brown switches, which are tactile. We'll put the specs up on the screen. Not really a fan, but for entry-level boards, these are pretty decent. It's also got a beautiful LED light on the top left-hand side of the board, which I really like. It indicates battery level, Bluetooth connection, 2.4 GHz connection, and also of course caps lock active. Now let's talk about the features of the Iqunix. Now this keyboard is marketed as Mac compatible, and many unknowing people would think, okay, this will be good for my MacBook. Honestly speaking, that isn't true because there are keyboards that say they are MacBook compatible but keep disconnecting from the MacBook. When these companies mention Mac compatibility, it usually just means that it comes with the Mac keycaps. Mac OS itself allows for any keyboard and the remapping of those keyboards when you connect a new keyboard that isn't the Apple one. Frankly speaking, there have been some connection issues for my friend when he connected it to his Mac. It worked fine on a Windows laptop. The 2.4 GHz, however, just didn't work for both of us. Did not connect to the receiver at all. The pink light just carried on blinking without connecting for a pretty long time. So I wasn't sure what was going on there. If you're going to use it wirelessly, it has a 4000 mAh battery, which is pretty insane for a keyboard, and it'll probably last for a really long time before you have to charge it. I think the battery is also a reason why the keyboard is thick in terms of height. Of course, I prefer USB-C connection, so that was fine. Coupling it with a coiled cable would be really nice, but of course it did come with its own cable, which was good as well. Of course, as all entry-level mechanical keyboards do, the Iqunix A80 also has RGB lights. I'm not a fan of the RGB at all, but if you're into that, it's in here. You can use the macros to change the patterns and colors. And since it's there, I would just set it at white for a nice backlight at night. Now, let's get to the serious stuff. The typing sound. Here's what it sounds like. In terms of the typing experience, it was okay. Nothing big on the typing. The keyboard was a little stiff. The elevated function keys don't really add on to the typing experience in any way. The sound profile is a little more on the talkier side, but still it's Gateron brown, so I didn't expect too much. Now, the typing angle was a bit awkward for me as well. I did require the help of a palm rest because the angle of elevation is pretty high even at the lowest leg setting, which is technically no leg at all. And the angle is about 5 to 15 degrees depending on the leg height. I couldn't really find out what plate it was using and the type of mount because I didn't really want to open it up due to it being someone else's keyboard. Having said that, shout out to Erwin for lending me his keyboard for this review. I'm guessing the plate inside is an aluminum plate, and I don't think there's any padding or foam inside. The key switches were Gateron browns, of course, which are widely considered the meme tactile switches in the keyboard community. There are way better tactiles out there like the Boba U4Ts or even the overpriced Holy Pandas. But still, as the entry-level switches, it's still decent. But the board is hot swap, so you can kind of swap them out if you want to buy some other switches or try something new. The case is ABS plastic so that the Bluetooth and the 2.4 GHz wireless can pass through. And the keycaps could be better because they are die-sub PBT and not double shot PBT, but still, it feels good. Now, the stabilizers aren't exactly what you would say good. It has some lube on it, but they are weird because these are not normal plate stabilizers or stabilizers you would see in the keyboard community. It doesn't seem like you can change it out in any way. I wish it was the more common version of the plate stabs where you can kind of adjust it in many ways, but it is also obvious that this keyboard is meant for the common guy wanting to buy his first cool looking mechanical keyboard. For the price of 169 USD, this keyboard is packed with features, but I still feel it's all bark and not bite. If you all like this, make sure to leave a comment, hit the like button and smash that subscribe. Well, that's it for today. See you all in the next one.